Well, when you don't know, you don't know, so. Hey guys, let's take a look at some bits today. Mainly gonna focus on the drill bits, but I got a few little funky special bits that I wanna show you just to put them out there. So let's take a look at those first. Some of my favorites, things that I've liked and helped me out. Wing nut bits. Something you might not see every day, but I used to use these a lot as a dealer tech for the wing nuts that secure down propane tank cover, especially on a smaller camper that only had one propane tank. It normally had a wing nut on it. So I use these a lot. They're good for also putting in like planter hooks, like in your house. Put the hook in there and drive it in a stud or something. So I have different sizes of those. I got these from Menards in Elkhart, Indiana. Another really nice bit that comes in handy and everybody should have are gonna be these countersink bits. If you're using a fastener like this, a button head, well, you don't need a countersink bit. But if you're using a washer head fastener that has like a cone on the end, then those are designed to be flush mount, and you want to go ahead and use a countersink to get that nice professional install. So I have a few different sizes of these. These are just some, and it even have the sizes on them. So this one, as you can see, 3/16 through 7/32. So this is gonna be in the category of a drill bit, but it is a drill bit, but this is a 90-degree drill bit, and 90-degree drill bits are for countersinking. So this is a counter, we just call them a countersink bit, but they are a version of a drill bit. This one is 5/64, and then this one is an 1/8 to 11/32. So that's a pretty good range there. What else do we have? A few more of these. Of course, spade bit. This is a variation that Diablo made on a standard spade bit, which normally wouldn't have that twisted profile. I think they call these the demons or something, speed demons. But this is a nice, very high performing. This screw part is a self-feed feature. So this is gonna be a self-feeding spade bit versus like this one, which has a feature with the 2 points, but it's not self-feeding. Sometimes you don't want the self-feeding. You can get a lot more control, especially if you're working on shallow walls and you can't afford to hit the other wall. You probably don't want to use a self-feed. But if you're doing something that's just rough and wide open, self-feed is a way to go. All right. Now we'll get a couple of these out. Different types of drill bits. Of course, nut drivers. Everybody know about nut drivers and nut setters. Definitely want to have these. These are DeWalt's. They have the magnet in them, but I use the Malcos mostly because the magnet is on the shaft and the actual nut setter can pull off and flip over, allowing me to be able to clean the magnet, which is a problem that I've had with these. And I switch from this style to using a style where it can flip over to a different size, plus I'm able to clean the magnet, which was more important than having the different sizes on the flip. But the flip was very convenient because I can get 8 different sizes out of 4 nut drivers. This is the problem that you'll find with the cheapies. the magnets come out. So that's your Harbor Freight. And then like these little devices are the little magnets that go over the end of a bit. I have tried a lot of different makes and models as far as brands. Some of them have different fitment. Some of them fit the fasteners better than others. So this is a Makita magnet here, and it is designed to be used with their bits. Of course, what can you do without the hole saw? This is a Milwaukee, part of my hole dozer kit with the small arbor that I have in it, and the rest of the set's on the truck, but that 3/4 size comes in handy for pipes, running 1/2-inch pipes and things like that. So those are the different little bits. Now mainly what we want to look at are the drill bits. So when I first started out, especially working with my dad, he didn't place a lot of emphasis on high quality bits. He's a carpenter, and he's mainly, when he's doing drilling, which really wasn't a whole lot, just going through wood. So wood and drywall. So that wasn't a whole big deal. So I use those cheapy bits, Harbor Freight, you know, something like this, which is this one actually might be a Milwaukee, but basically the cheap bits, they were made out of just like a carbon steel, and you know, it was good for soft materials like wood and plastic, PVC, stuff like that. But when I had to start drilling through a lot of metal, aluminum, stainless steel, you know, frame steel, you know, the steel on the frame of trailers, I didn't cut it. You know, you might get through the hole once or twice and then the bit was toast. So I had to step up to like high-speed steel. So the high-speed steel bits, they came along with a different profile. So ended up with like a 135-degree tip versus the 118-degree tip that you found on your bits that were kind of more suited for drilling through softer materials. You're going to use some like a 118-degree bit, and it's going to be like something like just regular steel or high carbon steel. But when you get ready to start working with metal like I do, high speed steel was my progression. So I stopped buying cheap bits and I started buying better bits. I didn't really know the science behind it. I started buying like name brand bits, but there was like different metals, so it was basically high speed steel. So like this is a high speed steel bit, and what I ended up going to was the Kimball Midwest. Yes, Kimball Midwest stuff is very expensive. But their drill bits are really good. They use a high-speed steel bit with certain coatings. Like this looks like a black oxide coating along with like a TAN or something like that. It's using a couple coatings to help it last longer. But these bits held up really well, and I was able to drill through like mild steel without having much of a problem. I was doing that quite frequently, drilling on the frames of trailers, especially doing hitch works and stuff like that. So, you know, I needed a better bit. They cut really well until they got dull, and then they were like trash. All right, like now. So what ended up happening is I went from that to tool truck quality bits, and they came in cobalt. So that was one advantage of having a tool dealer, right? It's like I could tell him what's going on, like the problems that I'm having, and you know, because of his knowledge and expertise in multiple industries that he services, he was able to tell me why I was having a problem and kind of explain to me like, hey, you know, that bit is for drilling through wood. You know, it's 118. It's made out of carbon steel. It's not really suited for doing a lot of drilling in mild steel or hard steel. And then he kind of showed me the advantage and disadvantage of certain features, like this on this bit, which is probably a Milwaukee bit. It's like when you get these little specialty bits with these little features like this, well, you can't sharpen the drill bit. So if you paid a good amount for it and you want to sharpen it, well, that's no good. I didn't have much luck with these drill bits anyway. They seem to dull out really good based on this, that once that little tip got dull, it kind of ruins the bit. Yeah, that's for sure a Milwaukee bit. And I just didn't have, this is basically a steel bit with a titanium coating. You see that bright coating? It's probably titanium. So I thought I was getting a very high quality bit because it said titanium, but I found out later that that's just a coating that's on top of a softer metal. So started buying Cobalt bits, and my dealer also kind of explained to me that I need to use the shortest bit possible to do the job and some of the dynamics of drilling and things like that. So I learned a lot. So I bought one set of bits that were the short length. So when I didn't need a long bit, I could use a shorter bit. And then I have also in the Irwin brand, a set of Cobalt bits that are standard length. And there's another, you know, you got jobber lengths, which are even longer. Okay, so what are the Cobalt bits? The Cobalt bits is a high-speed steel alloy that is mixed with a percentage of cobalt. If the manufacturer is being honest and they're calling their bit a Cobalt bit, it should either be like a 5% cobalt blend or a 8%, and that's called like you know, the industry, I think they call it like a M32 or a M45, right? So the M32 or the M35 actually. M35 would be the 5% cobalt, and the M42 would be your 8% cobalt. So the more cobalt, the tougher the bit is. You know, it's a lot more wear resistant. It can curly fries. You know, for the guys who know, you know, when I started using these Cobalt bits, like every time I went to work, I was getting curly fries everywhere, and I was like, wow. None of the other bits did I get that. I like the black and gold DeWalt, which are just coatings, the titanium Milwaukees, the El Cheapos. You know, before I got into, even with the Kimball Midwest, which is a high-speed steel with a coating, you know, I wasn't getting curly fries. When I stepped up to Cobalt, I was always getting curly fries when I drilled. So if you don't know what that is, that's when you drill and the shavings, instead of coming out in a bunch of little flakes and chips, it's like one continuous piece. And, you know, that was nice. You know, you got a good cutting drill bit and you're using it properly with the right speed and the right pressure, which is important. So these bits, I stand by them because it's the first set of drill bits that I bought where I was getting curly fries, you know, like consistently. Like some other bits, maybe every now and then I got a, you know, like little baby curly fry here and there, but these bits, crazy curly fries. So I've broken some of them because that's the downside of, there's the 3/16, which is one that I use the most. So the downside of the Cobalt, especially when you get into the high percentage of cobalt, like your M42 bits, the cobalt makes the alloy more brittle. So you got to really apply the right amount of pressure using the right speed, or you're going to snap the bit every time. So I only have one snap bit. I've snapped other bits before, especially these little ones. Too much pressure, you know. These bits, you can put high pressure, low speed, or low pressure, high speed, you know. So I find the harder the metal, I want to back up on the speed and apply a little more pressure, but I don't want to go crazy to where I'm flexing the bit because it is going to break, because the Cobalt bits are more brittle than just your standard high-speed bit. I've never snapped one of these Kimball Midwest bits. I mean, it's high-speed steel. They cut well. I mean, you're not getting crazy curly fries, but they're not snapping either. But that's a lot, partly because, like I said, the metal's more brittle, but a lot has to deal with user error. So like these bits, when you look at them, one thing, they're really sharp. Now I don't sharpen drill bits anymore. I used to sharpen drill bits when I was like doing machinist stuff, but I'm not doing that anymore. When they get dull, I buy another one. So you can see it says high speed steel, Mac 930 seconds. Now, I kind of expect them to indicate that it's a Cobalt bit, but that's just how they do them. Whereas if you look at the Irwins, which I'm very impressed with them on this, they mark their bits. First of all, it's stamped, it's not just printed. That's gonna be there forever. And it says high speed steel Cobalt 5. It's letting you know, like, we're not hiding anything. We're letting you know this is a real Cobalt bit. It's 5%, so basically this is an M35, and it's right there on the bit. It's stamped in every bit. You know, I feel very comfortable, so I'll probably be buying more of these Irwins. They cost a lot less than these. You know, these say Mac Tools on them, so you know, you're paying a premium for that. But I must say, these bits do perform. And if you are willing to sharpen your bits, they will last a very long time. These have like a lifetime warranty on them, but the warranty does not cover wear. So when they get dull, the dealer won't do anything about that. But if they happen to snap, he will do something about that. He will replace it. So that 3/16 bit, that baby's like $6 or $7 for that one. And I find that out of this whole 29-piece set, I believe this is, there's only 4 or 5 sizes that I really use. So I could save a lot of money, because the whole set's like $200 for this set, because it's the machinist length. The standard set, which are the regular length, they're like $400 because they're this size instead of short. And so you can save a lot of money. If you've been working in your trade for a while, you know which bits you need, and just buy those sizes. That's why you see so many single bits in here. Before I started buying high quality sets, I was using high quality bits, but only the sizes that I needed. So my solution for that was to get a real Cobalt bit in a non-tool truck brand, and it was the Irwin. Now I had a problem with this 5/30 seconds bit. I had to drill out a fastener. Had a fastener similar to this. It was broken off inside of another piece of metal. That it was basically a pinch screw for an awning, and you know, I went to replace the awning. The screw was damaged or whatnot. When I tried to remove the pinch screw, the head rung off, you know, and it's 3/4 of the way inside of the motor shaft. I have to drill it out. And the size is about a 5/30 seconds. And I got it done, but it took a little bit too much effort. It took too much effort to do it. So I was like, man, I gotta find a better bit than this. I need something that can drill a little better, because it just took too long to go through that hard steel screw with those bits. And I might have had better luck had I used, where is it? Yeah, I probably should have went and grabbed this one, but that was the set that I had out, so I used it. But anyway, that made me think. I was like, well, I really only using a few main sizes, so what else is better? So I did some research, and I came up with carbide bits. Not these are damaged screw removers, but I was surprised that these are made in USA. Blue Point doesn't make these. I bought this off the truck. It's a little side note. If I didn't show this on the little, when I was going over the little specialty bits, if I can get it open. That's the company that makes it. They're damaged screw extractors. Okay. So in my research, I found out that, and I just didn't know that you can get a carbide tip bit. I was like, I don't want that. The tip wears out. It's no good. Can you go to try to sharpen it, which I don't sharpen them, but if I did have to sharpen it, it's no good because the carbide's off of it, the tip. So I searched out solid carbide bits, and that's where we're at now. So now I am buying solid carbide bits. I'm getting these off of Zorro. I can buy just the sizes that I need, and just in case I snap them, because carbide is even more brittle. It's stronger, it's tougher, but it is brittle. I bought, in the smaller diameters, the 1/8 inch and the 16th inch, I bought 2. So when I break one, I can order another one if I break one. And that's just user error. When I snap them, that's just user error. I'm putting too much pressure on it and my speed isn't correct. So yeah, I probably have it on high speed and I'm pushing in very hard when I should have lower pressure, or for high pressure, lower speed. So anyway, I saw that you could buy solid carbide bits. So I was like, that's perfect. That's exactly what I need. And these are kind of like machinist length. So, and they, surprisingly, they look like 118 degrees. They don't look like 135s. I'll have to check the specs on that. They look like 118 degrees. But it's a solid carbide bit, and I specifically got this for when I got to drill through hard metal. Actually, I'll be using them as a daily driver on my rivets. So I bought the sizes 1/8 inch, 3/16, and 1/4 inch because those are the size of rivets that I use, and I'll be drilling out. I drill out the rivets. So if I'm drilling out a steel rivet, I'll use these, but if I have to drill out an aluminum rivet, I will step down to like a cobalt or just a high-speed steel because these don't do as well on the softer materials. These bits that are meant for hard materials, consequently, don't drill as clean through softer materials. So, and what I planned to do was like, instead of replacing the broken, as I break or dull out, I was gonna just put the carbide bit in the place of this, but of course the carbide doesn't work very well on softer materials, and a lot of times I'm working with aluminum trailers, race car trailers and things like that, Airstreams, and I still need a good set of cobalt bits for basically an all-purpose. I'm just totally bypassing the regular high-speed steel bits at this point because the M35 cobalt does well on the softer materials. Okay, so, and if these are 118, that might help them out a little bit on the softer materials because that angle is more suited for drilling into softer materials versus these 135 angle is more suited for drilling into a harder material. So that's what we got, guys. Just wanted to take a little time and go over some drill bits, different bits and things. I really do like this set of Milwaukee's. I use the, you can see that two are missing because I put them inside a different set. Two of the Phillips. This is a good set. I wish it was, didn't have the Torx in there and it was just all Phillips and squares and different sizes. That would be like my dream set because those are fasteners I use. But I like the case to where I can put whatever I want. I can take the Milwaukee bits out and put in what I want to kind of customize a kit with the stuff I want. So same with these little kits. Like these are some cool bits too. I don't know if I showed you these or not. These are wobble bits. These snap-on bits. I've already lost one though. But they basically, when you need that little bit of an angle, when you have a fastener, especially in a cabinet or something, or a slide to where it is off to the side a little bit and you can't really get your drill because of the size of the drill, you can't get the nose of the drill over that much. It just kind of gives you a little bit of an offset to where you can get a little closer to the side. So I thought those were kind of cool. So I saw those on the Snap-on website. So I bought a few of those. But yeah, guys, that's what we got. I'll let you know how these drill bits work out. I'm pretty stoked to see them perform, especially if I get into a situation to where I have to drill out some screws or drill into a frame or hard steel or stuff like that. So looking forward to that. Catch you guys later. RV Tech Pro out.